In this video, we'll take a look at how to make rolls and arpeggiated runs up the piano. I use a lot of these in my cocktail style playing at the beginning to introduce a song, or at the end of the song. It can be quite appropriate and effective. But actually anywhere when I'm playing jazz or just doing general improvisation, when I want that effect of an arpeggio, I'll use some of these various things. Some of them come from the classical masters. You'll recognize some of these ideas from classical pieces, and we borrow from the masters for our playing today. Here you saw me playing some piano arpeggios that require two hands. We get some very interesting effects this way. Let's take a look. Here's what we do to get this effect. We'll take a major chord like a G triad, G, B, D, and we're going to make a major 7 chord out of it, which normally would be the F sharp up here, G, B, D, F sharp. But we'll take the F sharp and put it down here with the other hand. Just use a finger here, probably an index finger or a third finger. And we roll the chord. So we've got these 3 notes that are going to spin or roll. They almost sound, it sounds like a spinning effect almost, but they're just rolling in this fashion. And you want to again keep your wrists loose and try to get them going like this. And so this note hits before every roll. To create this effect. It sounds like running water or something. And I'm using the pedal. I'm using the pedal to tie it all together. You can hear it. So when the notes are still ringing. And just as before, we have the same idea with them. We bring it up here and just keep doing the same thing. And practice it just like this, going slowly. And it's beautiful slow. It doesn't need to be played fast, actually. And we do the same with the A chord. We'll take an A triad, A, C sharp, E, and put a G sharp on the bottom of it. That's the major 7. So normally it would be A, C sharp, E, G sharp up here with the little finger, but instead we put it down on the bottom with a third or index finger, either one you like. Just rolls right up. And here we get the advantage when we can start with a black note. It's the easiest way to do these kind of chords. It won't work on every chord. You can try to make it work, but sometimes on a few of the chords it can put you in an inadvantageous position. If we can start on a black note, it's really the easiest. So on both a G and an A chord, a B chord, we start with a black note, and the E chord and a D chord. We just put the black note below to create a major 7, and it's easy because then I'll go back to the G here. What's happening? It's very easy to get your hand over to the next black note. So it's always on top. It's running on top where these black notes are. And same with the A. Now, if it wasn't here, if we're going to have it in a position like F, where we have F, A, C. Now, here we can do it also, but it's not quite as easy. We're looking at all white notes, and the hands have a little bit of a tendency to bump into each other as you're rising up. You can do it, but... And here you just have to keep this hand on top of the other one, so it's going like this. Sort of arching on top. Just a little bit more difficult, and sometimes it's hard to get it clean when it's all on white notes like that. And then we have another position for it, and that's when we have a chord like E flat, which is E flat, G, B flat, and a D natural on top. But we'll put the last note goes back on the bottom. So now we're starting on a white note followed by a black note in this hand. So here, what happens now is this finger has to stay under the hand when it starts on a black note chord, on the right hand, black note chord beginning like E flat or D flat major, E flat major. So we've got to keep the hands out of each other's way so they can follow along like this and not be bumping into each other. Still can be done, but not quite as easy as this one where the black note's on top, like on our D chord, E chord, G, A, and B. So these chords go, we've got the triad in the right hand, but sometimes you can stretch up here with your right hand and play the major 7 if it's the last distance you're going to go. If you're not going to go up higher, then we can and play 4 notes here in this right hand. That's just optional. Sometimes it feels good to put that extra note up on top. Here's another interesting thing to do with this spinning cycle like this, and it sounds like kind of a WC kind of an idea. Let me take it on a C chord, so I'm going to be all white notes, and what I'm about to do here, I'm going to spin this, get the C chord going like this, and do the same thing, give it the note under, which is the B in this case, the B down here. And now I'm going to start to walk down the scale. So I'm taking scale notes in my left hand, progressively going down, or actually anywhere. I can create a melody here in my right hand, my left hand, while the right hand is continuing to stay on the C major triad, but it's always in a count of 4. This is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And again, I'm using the pedal here to kind of tie it all together. You can do it without the pedal. Then you just want to know if you're going to hit the staccato or hold it down. Now, I like to use the pedal a lot, so I use that to tie things over. Watch what I do here. I'll get it going kind of in a fast motion, and I'll just create a melody here, all in the white notes because I'm in the key of C. And then to make some interest, I'll go to B flat, drop down to a B flat D F, and play a B flat scale. coming down in my left hand. So you can make some creations how you want, just keeping this feeling up. It really gets to be a groove you kind of fall into with this spinning action with the hand. Sometimes I'll sit down and play these just to loosen up and enjoy the sound of the sweeping arpeggios or these harp-like Debussy effects in various keys. They're just sort of an end to themselves sometimes, for the sake of it, just to enjoy the sound and the feel of my fingers on the piano.